Now it's my pleasure to introduce Instructor Paulson, recipient of last year's Professor of the Year Award. This term, I had the pleasure of taking CS411 Operating Systems 2 from Instructor Paulson and saw firsthand that last year's graduates made great Professor of the Year selection. To celebrate the conclusion of Operating Systems 2, we had a class barbecue, and I had a chance to learn quite a bit about his life before coming to OSU 4 years ago. In 1968, he graduated with a bachelor's degree in mathematics from the University of Michigan. In 1973, he completed his master's degree in mathematics, and in 1986, he completed his master's degree in computer science. As assistant professor of computer science with the State University of New York at Buffalo, he accepted a one-year overseas assignment developing a computer science curriculum for the Sunny Cooperative Program with the Malaysian Institute of Technology. He enjoyed the assignment so much that he remained in Asia teaching computer science in Malaysia, Taiwan, and Japan for the next 15 years. He also leads an interesting life outside of the classroom. And in the last year, he's guided several tours of the jungles of Ecuador. So please welcome to the podium, Paulson.
Graduates, family and friends of graduates, distinguished guests, it's indeed an honor to be asked to address this milestone, and I congratulate you, graduates, on your achievements. The graduation committee reasoned that I'm old enough to be able to tell you something about life that you don't already know. My apologies to the committee. Tell you anything you don't already know. Still, I realize that there's nothing more fun than listening to a pedantic parent telling you how to live your life. And of course, I make my living by expounding upon the obvious. Some of my students have worried a bit about the deterioration of my memory, but I assure you that my memory continues to improve every year. In fact, I'm now able to remember things that never happened. In any case, like any good teacher or parent or grandparent, I'd like to remind you of some of the challenges that you face and burden you with some of my own beliefs that have evolved over the years. I'd like to give you a complete, foolproof set of rules to live by. Most of my personal rules have worked out pretty well for me most of the time, but some of the results have been disastrous. Everything is changing at a much faster rate than it was when I was young. Your biggest personal challenge will be keeping up. The fact that you are here tonight probably proves something about your IQ. But your CQ, your curiosity quotient, will prove to be much more important. Our governments and corporations are failing us on many levels. As jobs are outsourced, pension plans abandoned, health care benefits rescinded, etc., you will have to create your own job security. Even though you are better prepared for your careers than previous generations of engineers, you will have to continuously seek out and synthesize much more information in order to stay ahead of the curve and make yourselves indispensable. Conventional wisdom says, slow and steady wins the race. Whoever said this probably never ran a race. You have to be fast and steady. Steady is still important, but you've got to be fast. You need to be more agile, more flexible, more adaptable. And you'll have to stay connected with your network and collaborate and multitask as never before. Perhaps some of my own guiding principles can help you face this challenge. First, one of my guiding principles is to try to see issues from a variety of perspectives. As mentioned before, I lived overseas for a number of years, and I would highly recommend that you take an overseas posting if you get the chance. And try to learn the local language. You might never reach the level of fluency to discuss philosophy or even engineering problems, for that matter, but it should give you an appreciation for how very extremely difficult it is to learn a second language. And that when you compare it to English, I would say especially English. Another example on perspective, a few weeks ago I had the opportunity to hear ex-Governor Kitzhaber explain some of his new ideas on providing health care and health insurance. He gave the following perspective example. He says, our national debt is about $9 trillion. Well, that doesn't faze most people very much. And I think the reason is that we don't really have an appreciation for what that number means. So we try another perspective and say that amounts to about $30,000 per individual in the country. That includes all the individuals, from preemies in the intensive care unit to old geezers in the nursing home. So even with that, it doesn't seem all that shocking. Because you probably paid $30,000 for your car. That's not such a big deal. But here's the perspective that really floored me. And that is that you can pretend that dollars are seconds. And $1 million will take us back 11 and a half days ago. 1 billion seconds or dollars will take us back to 1974. $1 trillion will take us back to almost 30,000 years BC. And our national debt is $9 trillion. So with these different kind of perspectives, you get, I think you can find a much better feeling for what these statistics mean. The second principle is to try to see the big picture, but don't forget about the small picture. Tiny details, of course, can derail a project, but sometimes the real beauty of a solution is in those tiny details. In other words, we have both God and the devil in the details, and you should strive to be meticulous, and don't lose the ability to be amazed by the small wonders, the small machines, the small children in your life. It's important to think globally, of course. But don't forget to do the things that keep your family and your friends close to you. Third thing, keep a close watch on your government. There are plenty of problems, of course. And although it might be argued that engineers, who really are problem solvers, would be better politicians than the ones we have, we really can't afford to lose any engineers that way. Engineers are often so dedicated to their work that they forget to keep track of what their employers and their governments are doing. It's an important obligation, and I stress the word, it's an obligation, to stay informed and stay involved so that you can vote intelligently. Evaluate politicians the same way you get evaluated, not by what they say about themselves, but about how they perform. The next principle is when things go wrong, it's more important to find a way to fix the problem than to fix the blame. And I'm not really going to elaborate on that. I just say, don't worry about it too much. Natural selection kind of takes care of the blame. The fifth one, be honest, be kind, take responsibility for your actions, clean up after yourself. Even I won't expound on that one. It's just a golden rule. My sixth principle may be a bit unusual. It is to set unrealistic goals. That's right, set unrealistic goals. First of all, you're engineers. You'll often be required to solve problems that have never even been thought of before. And this means that you often won't know what realistic means even until you've tried it out. In these times of agile methods of extreme programming, you'll often be required to proceed with incomplete information. So be idealistic, be unrealistic. By doing so, you often find that you'll go far beyond the requirements that other people might consider realistic. And sometimes you'll achieve goals that nobody, including yourself, thought were possible. So while we frequently hear that it's important to set realistic goals, I would encourage you to set the bar higher than you think you can jump. And this applies to social problems as well as engineering problems. And finally, I'd say do some things in moderation. The old advice is to do everything in moderation, and in fact, I used to say myself, nothing in moderation. But I've had to back off from that a bit. It seems that no doubt there are some aspects of life that require moderation. However, if you approach a project with moderation, you'll probably get moderate results. Moderation simply doesn't work once you've agreed to set unrealistic goals. It doesn't work with maintaining your family relationships either. You have to give more than 100%. Maintain your energy and your commitment. So younger generations have always looked to the older generation for leadership and example. But much of the world that you are inheriting seems to have lost its moral compass. We have a serious shortage of public heroes. Your generation will have to do much better than mine. You will face unprecedented problems. You will have to work smarter and take better care of your country. So now we have turned around to look at you, the younger generation, for heroes. Be idealistic. Be unrealistic. Be heroes. Make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I'm honored